Hello students of 7th standard. We have started the lesson that is nothing but living word adaptations and classification. In that we have seen various types of adaptations. Today we are going to see a new adaptation that is nothing but adaptation for fooding the animals. So whenever you are seeing this point, what does this point tells us? See, we have seen or we have categorized the animals as herbivorous and carnivorous. Herbivorous are the animals which are eating the grass and carnivorous are the animals which are eating the flesh. This way we have categorized the animals into two types, that are nothing but herbivorous and carnivorous. Special adaptations are seen in each category to make the process of the feeding easy. To make their process easy or to make their feeding easy, they are having a special types of characters. Some are having you can say pointed teeth to tear the flesh. Again, some are having you can say eyes to see where the animal is going to kill them, or some animals are having the teeth which are specially meant for chewing the hard grasses. This way this categorization is made. Now see, watch the habits of animals like frogs, snakes, birds, mosquitoes or butterflies. So whenever you are seeing such types of animals, see here frogs, how they are having a sticky tongue to take their prey inside their body. Then again snakes, whenever you see snakes, their jaws are having a teeth to bite, or they are having a you can say poison in their mouth to you can say paralyze the prey. This way they are having. Then birds, what they are doing? They are tearing the flesh of the animals, or you can say any prey with the help of their beak. Then see, or they are picking their prey, insects for example, with their you can say beak. Then mosquitoes, they are having a proboscis. With this proboscis, they are you can say sucking the blood from the you can say human beings or any of the animals. Then butterflies, butterflies are also having proboscis by which they are sucking the nectar from the flowers. So this way each and every animal is having a different characteristics to obtain its food. So this tells us the adaptations for food in the animal. Means what? These animals, they are having a special types of parts, or you can say special types of characteristics to obtain their food, and they are having these characters, or naturally they are supplied by these types of characters. Next comes the adaptation for blending with the surrounding. That means there are many animals. What they have to do? They have to cope up with the you can say surrounding. Special types of animals are there which are going to cope up with the you can say surrounding. Now whenever you are seeing these animals, see, we cannot easily spot colorful butterflies. There are butterflies which are matching their color with the grasses. So we cannot easily detect these butterflies from the grasses, or you can say there are also some lizards, or you can say grasshoppers are also there, so that the other animals should not point out them or they should not eat them. For that reason they are having the same color as they live in which of the surroundings. You can say in the surroundings whichever they live, they are having the same color, or they are matching with the same color. For example, grasshopper is having a green color, and this green color matches with the grass in which it is living. Therefore, it cannot be spotted by any another animals, or it could not be the prey of the any another animal. Then see, they get camouflage amidst grasses. Parts like stems, leaves, flowers. That means they match their color, you can say colors, with the, you can say, grasses or parts like stems, leaves or flowers. That is because the color blends with those of their surrounding. So whatever they are having, the color with the surrounding, the same color they are matching with the, you can say, their own body. Now here there you have to complete one table in your book. See there, shark teeth, adaptation, animal and use of adaptation is there. In that you are having a, you can say, shark teeth. The animals whichever are having the sharp teeth are nothing but lion and tiger. Why they are having such types of a sharp teeth? Because they want to tear the flesh, or they want to capture their prey and they want to tear the flesh of that prey. Then see, long and pointed beak. For example, crane, or you can say woodpecker. They are having a pointed, you can say, beak. Why they are having woodpecker? Because they want to pick the wood, or they want to make a hole into the wood. Then next comes short beak. The ducks, they are having a very short beak. Why is there? Only to capture the insects whichever are surrounding to that. So they are having a short beaks. Or you can say sparrows, they are having a very short beak. Why they are having a short beak? Because they want to only pick up the grains which are surrounding to it. Next comes long and sticky tongue. Then for example, the snakes and the frogs, they are having the long and sticky tongues. Why? Because they want to capture their prey from the long distance. Next comes long neck. Giraffe. Giraffe is having a very long neck, or you can say crane. Crane is having a very long neck. Why is that? Because giraffe is having a long neck because it wants to eat the leaves whichever are far from his body, or it has to eat the leaves whichever are present on the tall tree. The next point that we are going to see is nothing but adaptations for the blending with the surroundings. In that we have seen some points. The further points we are going to see here. Changes that take place in the various organs and life processes of organisms that enable them to live, feed, reproduce, to perpetuate themselves from their enemies in specific surroundings, depending upon the habitat and its geographical conditions, are called as adaptations. So why these adaptations are done? Particularly, these adaptations are done by the, you can say, animals or plants, because they want to survive in this world, or you can say in this surrounding. And as they want to live in this surrounding, they should not be the prey of any other animals. For that reason, they are making certain changes in their body, and as they should not be, you can say, as they should not be the, you can say, feed, or they should not be the prey of any another animal. For that reason, they are having certain adaptations in their body, and these adaptations are only because they want to live in the surrounding. So this is nothing but these types of conditions in which the plant or the animal makes itself changes in its body to adjust with the surrounding. That is nothing but the adaptation. The next point is nothing but here, classification of living organisms. Classification of living organisms is one of the most important thing in case of a plants or animal. Before going to this point, we are going to see one of the scientists that is given in your book. That is nothing but the Charles Darwin. So who was Charles Darwin? Charles Darwin was one of the scientists who studied the plants and animals in an more number, and according to him, he said that, what he said, that the plants and animals make changes in their bodies so that they want to live in the surrounding, and these changes are made because they want to adapt themselves with the surrounding. And according to him, the person, or you can say, the organism who can have changes in its body can only be the fittest. And he said that one who is fit to survive can only live in this world. This was told by the Charles Darwin. The next point that is said, that is nothing but classification of living organisms. In your book, this is the next point. So why are living things classified? Why we classify the living things? Because we should know them by their name, or we should know which category they are belonging, or what is their family, what is their order, what is their division. All these characters we should know. For that reason they are classified. Now they are also classified so that it made easy for us to identify them with their characteristics. Which are the criteria used for classification of plants and animals? Now whenever you see plants and animals, the classification of plants and animals is done on the basis of, if we see the plant, they are done on the basis of cryptogams or phenerograms, having the flower, root or stem, or not having flower, root or stem. Then again they are classified in the basis of the division, that is nothing but the cryptogams are classified as Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Then again, whenever you see the phenerograms, they are classified into gymnosperms and angiosperms. Angiosperms are further classified into monocot and dicot. Similarly, animals are also classified depending upon their division, or you can say family, their group, their body symmetry, their germ layer. Then again many types of the, you can say, criteria are taken to classify the, you can say, animals.